Welcome to the I Don't Care What You Think podcast. We got a special guest in the building. We have Jason, CEO of Rocktown Media.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. If you don't know who he is are you just a sports photographer or you a everything photographer?
I do just about everything. Rocktown Media is just my brand for sports, but I do have another business that's just for like weddings, families, newborns, that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, personally, take it from me. I'm all the way in North New Jersey. So I think it's amazing. And
Thank you.
I think what you do with your photos are just flawless, like flawless. So the question I want to start with is where did where did photography come from? Like, was it you just picked up a camera or
Uh,
was it like a family thing?
it's kind of a long story. I knew like I guess like back in high school when I was like 13, 14, our some of our projects for school included like making videos. And so I kind of got involved doing that like 20 years ago. And so my grandma gave me like a video camera to do my projects with, and that's kind of where it started. And then my senior year of high school, I begged my parents to let me transfer schools because they had a TV program. And
Mm.
so I ended up transferring schools my senior year to a TV program. And then I went to college for digital filmmaking. And I met my now wife, and she was on the yearbook staff at the university we went to. And she talked me into like joining the yearbook staff, and that's kind of how I started taking stills. And so that's just it just kind of went from there.
So the tricks you do, where you dark out the background,
Huh?
it seems to be like a go-to. So I
Oh
already
yeah.
know they ask for it.
Oh, all the time. I ask them like, "Hey, what kind of look do y'all want? Do y'all want to do if it's like an outside sport? Like, do you want to do it during the day, or do you want to do the nighttime with the smoke and stuff?" That like 90% of the time, they're like, "We definitely want to have that night look, the dark background with all the smoke."
I seen before you had the smoke machine, you was using like what was it? What was it?
Oh, the atmosphere aerosol cans.
Yeah, I seen you
Yeah.
using that's create that's up my alley. That's very, very creative.
Yes, I love those atmosphere aerosol cans. It has a different kind of texture and a different look than the fog machine. Sometimes the fog machine can look a little too dense, as
Mm-hmm.
you could say, and it gets everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So when did it transition from you're into it, you like it, and it's like, oh, now I have to take it serious. It's becoming a business.
Hmm. So my wife and I started our business in 2010, doing weddings, family, that kind of stuff, and then like 2012, a guy that I knew, he was a photographer for a local paper, and he got me my first job doing sports photos for just a local team here, and so I covered that one high school here and for the local paper, and I did that up until 2018 until it closed. And so I enjoyed shooting high school sports so much that I actually made Rocktown Media just to continue shooting
Mm-hmm.
high school sports. And I had one of my friends kind of help me get it started, and he would do like a podcast on some of like the top coaches in the state and that kind of stuff. And then I've been doing team pictures and everything, and it just kind of exploded all at once. I had people like, I guess they followed me from taking game pictures and all that stuff, and then they saw that I did like the team pictures and individual stuff, and they wanted that. And then within the period of from 2018 to 2021, it just exploded to where now all I focus on is just sports. And my wife kind of took over the other side of the business.
So where's the furthest you travel to shoot sports, or you just keep it in your area?
For the most part, I keep it like within the state. But as far as like actually traveling, I'm teaching classes on this stuff, doing workshops. And I had one in Florida at IMG Academy in January. We're going to Illinois. It's just outside of Chicago
Mm.
in May, and then we have one. We have one in Arkansas, and then one in Virginia coming up.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And the fact that it's something you and your wife have, it's something y'all can build on, pass it down to your children,
Yes,
continue
absolutely.
where we're going. All right. So you're a big sports guy, or you just like
Oh,
shooting sports?
oh yeah, I love sports.
Favorite sport?
Oh, it's a tough one. I'm probably gonna go with basketball, but college basketball.
Basketball?
I'm gonna call college basketball though.
Ah, college basketball. Okay, so with I probably if it's a you're from born and raised Arkansas, right?
I am.
All right, so is it them? That's your favorite team?
It is Arkansas
Ah,
Razorbacks.
see, I know. So I ain't even gotta ask you who you root for every year.
Oh yeah, every year Arkansas Razorbacks for sure.
So what's the big? I'm gonna just shift real quick. So if college basketball is your favorite, what makes college basketball your favorite from the professional?
It is gotta be just like the March Madness feel. And just all the hype leading up to it, and then just any team at any given time can win.
I, I
It's
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm a UConn fan myself.
okay. Yeah, we got handed to us pretty bad in that game.
I'm big on UConn. I'm big on UConn. So there was nothing else. There was nothing else other than photography that you wanted to do, or you
Some type of photography. Initially, I wanted to be like a filmmaker, do something like
from them
make
photos.
yeah.
I think you can do it, man. I think you can do it. I
So
think you can do it.
yeah, our business kind of just took off doing the stills, and so I just kind of left the filmmaking thing behind and then started doing this, and this just took off. So I really enjoy what I do, and I love getting to work with high school athletes and then like showing them like they're there at the photo shoot and I'm taking pictures. Some of them look at me like some of the stuff I'm doing, like, what are you doing? Like, and then I show them the picture, and you have like these awesome reactions from these kids, and they end up really liking the pictures.
All right. I'm always down to learn new stuff. And I seen you have the class that you be teaching, the online stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm signing up. So
Okay.
trust me, I need all the help I can get because I just bought my first camera. So I need all the help I can get. What do you edit on?
I use Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop.
Ah, see. Everybody tells me something different, but everything isn't a free trial.
Yes.
So
I
I don't
had
know what to use.
the Adobe has like the photography package, and I think it's like $14 a month, and you can get Photoshop and Lightroom, and it comes with all the updates whenever like they have new cameras and stuff come out. Whenever they have any kind of updates, they'll update for you, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's good. So if you could biggest the biggest filmography company, photo company comes to you and they go, yo, we want to work with you on a collab deal, but we would like to see some of your pieces. What
Mhm.
is the one piece that you shot that you would go, oh, I know this automatically is a yes if I show you this?
And that's tough because I have a lot of stuff that I'm like really proud of and I really like. One of my favorites is probably from a school, it's Pulaski Academy, and I have this girl. She jumped up and did the ball like between her legs, and you could see her teammates in the video, and like they
Mm.
saw the back of my camera, and they were just like in shock, and their reaction was just like priceless. And then I showed the picture after that on the video. That's probably one of my favorites. It's not necessarily it's like the most incredibly spectacular image. I love the image. It's just mostly because I love the reaction from the kids and seeing how they feel about my work.
So far, out of all the stuff I've seen from you, my favorite is the one you did. And like y'all was throwing the baseballs or
Mhm.
throwing all the balls and then you snapped it. So the
Yeah,
ball is flying behind that picture is
yeah.
dope.
I love that picture for several reasons. I like the picture. She's sitting on like a throne type of thing. You're throwing the
Yeah.
basketballs behind her. So yeah, I love that aspect of it. And it just has some kind of attitude about it. But if you look at it like the behind the scenes, I involved a bunch of her teammates in the shoot as well, and that's something I
Mhm.
try to do. I'm a firm believer in using practical effects and getting everything kind of right in camera, as opposed to saying, "Oh, I'll just Photoshop some balls behind there later." So involving like her teammates, involving kids in like these shoots, it means a whole lot more to them when you involve them, and it just makes the experience that much better. So I'm a firm believer in making your client experience better by involving them in the shoot.
All right. What was the hardest part about becoming as good as you are? Was it for me? To me, it's lighting. So, what was the
Mhm.
hardest part for you?
Lighting is my favorite part. I have always been obsessed with like this kind of lighting. And I saw a picture, I think back in 2012 or 2013, when I was just starting with off camera lighting. And I was like, I've got to figure out how to do that. And so I have bought a couple more speed lights at the time. And then I started just messing around trying to figure out how to do this kind of stuff. And I had one of my good friends who's a head football coach. I did video at the time, and he's like, "Hey, can you film like a hype video for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Can I also try out some of my new lighting stuff for stills too?" So that's like in 2013. It was the first time he let me try out my lighting. So yeah, it's always a process figuring out new lighting techniques, that stuff. And then the business side of things, it's
Yeah.
it takes a while. Like I've been doing this style of photos since 2014. That's kind of where I figured it out. And it took me 2 years to kind of figure it out and then to keep like perfecting it. And there's stuff that goes wrong all the time. You got to think on the fly and like figure
Yep.
it out in different shoots. And kids always come up to me like, "Hey, I want to do this picture." And you're like, "I have never done a picture like that before in my life, but we'll
But
figure it out."
you gotta play it cool. Like I
Yeah,
got
you do.
I got it.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. I think now thinking about it, that's actually one of my favorite pictures I've taken. Is the basketball player? He asked me, "I want to walk away like Steph Curry and like hold up the three, and but I want to be holding my arms up, but I want the shot when the ball is directly like in the net and I'm walking away." I'm like, "Okay, let's figure this out." And I and so I put a light on the net, a couple lights on him, put the fog, everything, and then we had him shoot it a couple times. He would make it, but he couldn't get turned around and like walk away quick
Fast
enough
enough.
to get. So I had somebody else shoot it while he was walking away to get the shot. People love talking about that or commenting on that video on TikTok and Instagram and say, "Why didn't he just try to make the shot?" Well, it's a little different when you're trying to get an actual picture of it.
Yeah, it's different. Steph Curry turned around as soon as he let the ball go.
Hey, yeah, oh yeah. As soon as he lets the ball go, I think this kid was just like trying to make sure it went in, and then he would turn around.
hey, I love the one thing I do love. I love that you giving them something to express themselves because people see those photos from professional athletes and they just wish they can have that.
Mhm.
And you like even if that kid that did that photo never goes pro, you gave him a moment. You gave him a poster in his house for the
Yes.
rest of his life that he could show his children. Like, yeah, that was me. You see that? Yeah, and then the turn
Yeah.
around. He was doing it before Steph Curry. Like, no,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would appreciate I appreciate you and your ability to give them the dream that they wish they can have with the certain photos. And that is beautiful because them pictures are amazing. People don't understand. I'm gonna link his account in the description so y'all can see the talent behind what he does, and it's just flawless, man. It's flawless. I was showing a
Thank
couple
you.
of my people at work. I said, "Oh, he coming on the podcast tomorrow. Look at these photos." I'm like, "Yeah, but he ain't up here." So, do you travel? Like, if somebody
Yeah.
book you,
Yeah. If they book me, I'll travel for sure.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. What's your favorite sport to shoot? And that's a two-part question. And after that, what's your hardest sport to shoot?
Favorite sport to shoot? Basketball. Love it. There we go. Game with basketball. It's basketball and football comes in at a close second. I also like volleyball comes in at a close second too. I like basketball, football, volleyball, and then I'll go hardest sport to shoot. I'm gonna go baseball, softball. It,
Your baseball videos when you do the behind the scenes and then it turn into the shot,
mhm.
they seem like they easier because you ain't got to rely on them making a shot or making the catch or making you know it.
I'm gonna tell you why it's harder. Baseball, the positions are spread out a whole lot further on the field, so
Okay,
I gotta carry this gear all the way around the field to different positions. So that's why it's
you
more
basically on the
difficult.
team.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I see your baseball shots, I'm like, oh, that don't seem too hard. But I now that you explained it like that, I can see why football is a close second.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't get much better when you got the helmet and the visors and then you got all the stuff on. You get some pretty cool pictures.
Yeah,
That
yeah, man, you definitely can. You
yeah.
definitely can. All right. So I think after having this conversation with you, you should start dwelling in the filmmaking, man. You ain't got
I,
to take it
I
serious. You could just try your hand at it. Small film, something like that, like little 5-minute videos.
I would totally do that if I had if I had more time. It's just kind of myself. I do all the shoots by myself. I do all the editing myself. So
I respect it.
if I had somebody else kind of helping me out, I would definitely do some more like hype videos and stuff. I used to do those videos back in 14, 15, 16. I just kind of let them go because this side of the business kind of took over.
I respect. Me myself. Other, of course, I have to do it virtually with you,
Mm.
but I shoot it, I edit it, I light it. That's why when I
Mhm.
hopped on your website and I seen oh, you do classes and sign up, I said, oh yeah, I'm coming in there because I just bought my first I got the Sony ZVE 10 camera.
Okay.
So I know I need to learn lighting because I look at these other podcasters and I'm like, all of this is lighting. Like y'all
Uh,
got good lenses, but all of this is really lighting.
oh yeah, your
So
lighting completely makes a scene.
so that's what I'm working on now, man. That's what I'm working on now. That's what I'm working on now because I'm just as independent as you. That's why I appreciate how hard you work.
Yeah.
And people don't understand teaching yourself this stuff is not the easiest. So when I bring it to you, understand that it's just me and it's not a team of 30 people. Because people be
Yeah.
like, oh, you ain't get back to me in your email fast enough. It's just me.
My wife does help me answer emails, and my mother-in-law answers some
That's
emails for
nice.
us too.
That's nice too. That's who
So
you spoke. That's who you were speaking to. You weren't even speaking to me. You were speaking to my fiance.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
she was telling me, she like, yeah, it's this time. She was like, pick this time. And I'm like, what's the time zone difference? She was like, it's an
Yeah.
hour. I'm like, all right, well, I ain't gonna have him up in the morning because I like to do I'm a morning person.
I'm with you. I'm the same way.
Like people will call me like other podcasters will be like, hey, you want to come on my show? I'll be like, all right. Their email be like 5 o'clock. I'll be like, you ain't got nothing earlier. They'd be like, how early you could come? As early as 7 o'clock in the morning. You ain't got
There you
nothing
go.
earlier. Like, so
I,
I'm an early person, but I didn't know how you were. So I tried to give you the
oh, I'm the same way. I try to get up about 5 or 5:30 every morning, and I have about an hour and a half, 2 hours before my son wakes up. And then I have all that time to kind of work on stuff that I need to before he gets up. He's 3, and we
my
got to
son
get
is too.
yeah, got to get him ready for pre-K 3 when he gets
Yep.
up, and take him to school, make his lunch. And
Um,
my wife's the exact opposite. She stays up till 1 or 2 o'clock working on stuff. I
yeah,
can't do that, man.
we have a similar style. We have a similar style. The only thing is I can work late into the day or late into the night and still wake up early.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, like I can work till 1, 2 in the morning and still wake up at 5, 6 a.m.
Yeah, same way.
So what are the plans? What's the next step for Rocktown Media?
So I'm still gonna keep doing all my team stuff, but this weekend, my videographer and I we are filming more tutorials and online classes. So we have the one like dark background, how to set up lighting and how to achieve a dark background look, and then we're doing a lot more, doing like using gels, using like smoke, doing light trails, doing some time not like time lapse stuff, but doing long exposure
Mm.
stuff. We're gonna set up I think at least 3 or 4 more tutorials, and I'd like to do more of those and kind of get a whole catalog going. And I told my wife, I'm like, you know, what'd be a good idea? I should write a book and have diagrams just on lighting and actually show the shot and then do diagrams and then explain everything. I'm like, she said, when do you have time for that? And I'm like, I don't, but that's just something in the future I'd like to do.
Yeah, yeah, I'll read it, but you will have to put it in audio format because
Okay.
I'll be so busy I can't sit and read. But I'll
Mhm.
listen to it. I listen to a full
Okay.
book. I've listened the amount my Audible tells me what I listen to a month. I ain't know I couldn't take them many books,
Yeah.
but I'm listening to them, so it makes it easier. But I do hope whatever you want to achieve is gonna be achieved.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Because I would love to see you in some pro. If you haven't already, I would love to see you with some pros.
Yep.
Like I let it turn on. Like yo, yeah, he shot Steph Curry. He shot Steph Curry. He did it. I mean, I would
Hey,
love. He shot LeBron in them. I would love to know. Yo, I met the man behind that camera.
Hey, that's the dream.
And you'll get there as long as you keep pushing. You ever shot for the Razorbacks?
I have, let's see. I shot an event. I didn't actually shoot like their team pictures or individual pictures, but I shot an event for them last year. Um, I've shot a couple of their games, but not like actual photo shoots.
Nah. So how was it shooting for them?
That was great. I enjoyed it. I got to meet Coach Musselman and his wife Danielle. It was for the Suits and Sneakers Gala. The stuff that it's a event that they put on every year and raise money for charity. But it was really good. I got to meet the team, got to meet them, and it was fun.
All right. Question. Dream shoot. Person, sport, dream shoot. Like you sit back and go, I want to be responsible for shooting this one day.
Yeah, I would say maybe something for like ESPN or Nike or something like that that had a couple pro athletes in them. That'd be pretty sweet.
I think the Nike, Adidas, I think that'll work perfectly. Seeing that post outside one of the stores,
Yeah,
be yo, y'all are really, oh man, hopefully I can collab with you one day. Whether I
yeah,
come down there to you and you come up here, when the podcast get big, because I'm gonna let you know. Oh, we need people to shoot photos. Rocktown Media, right down there.
yeah.
Call them. I can show you his stuff. I can show you his stuff. So what motivates you to keep going?
And honestly, I just have a passion for this. I love being able to take pictures and I love being able to take a scene and like turn it into something that you don't actually see with your eyes or your phone camera sees. It's something that you have to actually create with lighting and make it look really dramatic. I love being able to do that. And of course, like I mentioned before, seeing like the kids' reactions to the pictures too, and knowing that they have something that they really like.
Yo, and the part that I love the most about your photos is that because when you take the picture and then it turns into the picture, I just be like, man, I wish I know how to do that. Like that is just amazing. That is just so
Thank you.
you learned that on your own or
Mm.
you
I
oh I
I
was about to say
I learned the basics of like some of camera settings and lighting when I was in film school. But as far as the still photography, lighting, yeah, I learned taught myself just about everything on that. What modifier to use, like when I talk about modifier, I'm like umbrellas, soft boxes, that kind of stuff, and how each different one looks different when you used it on like the same person. Like a softbox looks different than like an umbrella. It looks different than a beauty dish, all that kind of stuff.
I've never gotten to that much lighting. The most I've gotten to is like the lights that's on me now. I got into studio lighting.
Mm-hmm.
But I go to other people podcasts and they got soft boxes and light boxes, and I just
Yeah.
be like, all right, I know I need to really learn this because you got to dial it in, dial it out, and all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, I'm really trying to be a part of your classes and
Okay.
the videos and tutorials. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really trying to be a part of that.
All right. Awesome.
All right, so we have a question game we play here on I
Okay.
Don't Care What You Think podcast. It's called Kappa Facts. It's 5 questions. If you agree, you say facts. If you disagree, you say cat. You,
Okay.
there is no both, there is no either or, and you have to explain why you're picking cap or fact.
All right.
All right. First question. You can't succeed without failing first.
Oh, facts. 100%. I have tried and failed at so many times and trying to light fixtures and trying different things. Since I've been doing it so long now, I know what works and what doesn't work. So if you never fail, you're never gonna like learn what can and can't be done. So of course you're gonna have to fail at some point.
All right. So speaking of that, I'm gonna pause this real quick because I got a question now that you said that.
Yeah.
You've ever shot someone and you personally do not like it. Like, man, I messed up. But the client loves it. You ever had that happen to you?
I have had that happen. I'll think go back and look at a shoot. I'm like, why didn't I just like move this light like 5 inches over to the left? Like, but the client loves it. It's mostly like my fault. I'll like get going and I won't even pay attention to like minute details of where shadows are, like on their faces or something like that. And then client loves it, but it bugs me.
I had to ask you that because I've been there once, but I can just imagine. Like, and then I'm looking at like my co-host because I usually have a co-host with me. My co-host, they all love it, and I'm at home like, it's crazy how they don't see what I see. Like, it's blatant for me,
Oh,
and
all
they're
the
Ray
time.
Charles.
All the time. It happens.
All right, hard work beats talent if the talent doesn't work hard.
Facts. You see that all the time. You have the most talented athlete in the world, and if they actually don't put in the work, you can have somebody come up behind them who works 10 times as hard, beat them, and get that starting spot.
Okay, you need a team around you.
Cap.
Ooh, why do you feel that way? Because in the way, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna
Well,
let you
well,
explain it first.
I may take that back. I would say I okay, we'll go with facts on that one because you do need a good support system. You got to have family, you got to have a good support system. I do like all my shoots and like editing and stuff kind of myself, but then like kind of thinking about that, yeah, I need my wife, I need my other people who like help me along the way
Mm-hmm.
too. So yeah, you got to have a good support system.
Okay. Overreacting has its consequences.
Facts.
That's the one question I don't ask people to explain because sometimes they answer it from a personal standpoint. Like,
uh,
yeah, I've overreacted to something that was not worth an overreaction.
arguing on social media over somebody like
Oh my god.
uh I have learned the hard way the past couple of years since my social media has kind of blown up. Just if somebody comments on something, don't even bother. Just let it go and don't even waste your time commenting back.
Yeah, I just hit that wall when a guest we had was explaining if you have a friend that makes poor decisions in life, like go to jail or something like that, and they come to you trying to change their life for the better, he was like, "Don't turn your back on them. Give them a try." And he was like, "If you don't give them a try, you wouldn't know." So then a fan commented like, "Oh, y'all just stupid and ignorant," but he was misinterpreting what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I just was like, I'm not even about to argue with him. Like, because I'm like, I told him, I said, that's not what he meant. He was like, I know what he meant. I'm like, whatever, bro. Last question. If you don't enjoy doing it for free, then it's not the profession for you.
Facts.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know, yeah, I
yeah.
know, yeah.
Because if you don't enjoy doing it for free, then it's just a regular job. I mean, there's people who go to work every day. They don't like what they do. I absolutely love what I do,
I
and
love what you do.
getting started in sports. I was just talking to my buddy this morning about how we got started in 2018. We went to all these games, shot all these games and stuff for free. And I told my wife, I'm like, I promise one day it'll pay off, and like
Pay
not
off.
getting paid, and it's paying off, and we're very very blessed.
I'm blessed for you. So I'm not gonna keep you too long. I don't know if you have planned. Tell the people where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at rocktown.media. TikTok is Rocktown Media. Facebook, Rocktown Media, and then my website is rocktownsports.media.
and
Uh,
I will put anything and everything in the description where you can find him. He already told you where to find him, but now I'm gonna put it in the description so you know where to find him. And since we like to talk about music, one last question: who would be your favorite musician to listen to?
that is a tough one. See, I go through different moods where I like different genres.
Okay, okay.
All
What's your
right.
favorite genre?
I'm gonna have to go with probably like 90s rock.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Or
But, but,
any
but,
kind of
but
like
what's the
90s.
what's the level of '90s rock? Because you know me, I do a little Creed. You
Agree?
know,
Yeah.
yeah, I like
Uh
my favorite rock group of all time is U2.
okay.
I listen to Creed. I listen to Nickelback. I listen. So what is
Yeah.
your? See, I know rock. I know. Rock. I know soft rock, punk rock. I don't listen to death metal, and I don't listen to
Uh,
metal.
yeah, I don't really like death metal or metal either. I'm gonna go with some like early 90s. stuff, I'm gonna go with some like Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. I love listening to
I
that.
know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
Okay. Now if we go into some other genres, well, my wife's gonna hate me for saying this. I like listening to rap too. So I like listen to some Lil Boosie and Drake.
Yo, I love Lil Boosie. I'm not a big Drake fan, but I love Lil Boosie.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember in high school, like back in 2004, 5, listened to Boosie all the time.
yo, and all of my friends do not like Lil Boosie. I'm the only one. I'm like, nah, see, you have to understand what he's saying, man. Lil Boosie. Tell your wife she need to like Lil Boosie with you, man. And Drake is like universal. I would expect everybody to, for the most part, listen to Drake.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I like a lot of his older stuff, back like 2008, 9, 10, that kind of.
All right, I give you that. I give you that. I give you that. If I had to pick a Drake, that'd probably be the Drake I pick as well.
I mean, as I get older, my music kind of stays back in the like early 2000s,
There's
1990s.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I appreciate you for liking Lil Boosie.
Oh
You're
yeah,
the first Lil Boosie fan to come on this podcast.
I used to listen to him all the time.
But once again, I want to thank you for coming through here, giving me some of your time to let your now East Coast fan base or up north, because I know y'all down south, so to now bring your fan base up this way.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. I hope everything go the way you needed to go. My name is Doughboy from I Don't Care What You Think. Y'all already know who I am. And we want to thank you for coming by.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
I sip, I roll my weed up. Niggas trip, but they can't see us. Big plays when I'm on top now. I got this, kick your feet up. Watch how I double up now. It's gonna cost 10 to 6.